cha cha cha, Igbo kwenu, owe. Cha cha cha, Igbo kwenu, owe. Cha cha cha, Igbo kwenu, owe. Abia kwenu, owe. Anambra kwenu, owe. Ebonyi kwenu, owe. Enugu kwenu, owe. Imo kwenu, owe. Nigeria kwezu no. Hello, beautiful friends, families, and loved ones. All of you that my ardent viewers and listeners, I salute you all. I welcome you all to my Igbo segment called Let's Learn Everything About the Igbo. I am Mazi or Mr. B.O., a full-fledged Igbo son and teacher of Igbo language, culture, and traditions, including general issues that affect our lives in society, the lives of the Igbo and the lives of the non-Igbo. Today we are going to talk about cleansing or purification of whoever that has committed one taboo or the other in the land. I'm talking about a typical Igbo setting. I don't know what entails in other cultures as well. So I'm talking about my own culture because I'm an Igbo man to the core. All right. Now, when one goes contrary to the laws of the land, that's committing one abomination or the other, the person needs to be cleansed, irrespective of the position the person holds in society. The person, if he or she lives outside the Igbo community, he or she has to go there for cleansing. In some Igbo areas or parts of the Igbo land, these crimes to the gods of the land, that's the abominations and the or taboos, are highly frowned upon. They are weighed as grievous offense. It's not something that someone would do and just go scot-free. Sometimes the gods who feel that they have been humiliated or they have been sinned against would go and block the success of the culprit. Understand? So the culprit will not be able to succeed or excel in whatever he or she does for a living. So when such difficulties emanate, the person would know that what he or she has done or did in the past is coming after him or her. And the only way out is to go to the root. Has to go to his or her root to be cleansed. So on getting there, he will go and confess. Okay, if he cannot confess, he will call, if the person has a father or an elderly one, the person will confide in the person, of what he or she did in the past that has been causing this problem he's faced at present. Then the person will now visit the custodian of the deity or the oracles, who would in turn list what the person has to provide. All the items on the list have to be provided by the culprit. So the items now will be used for the cleansing or the purification of the culprit. So when all these items have been provided, including the money, the lump sum of money that will follow, then they will march to the oracle. Getting there, they will be able to talk to the oracle, confess to the oracle. Then the oracle will check if all the items requested have been provided. If they are all have been provided, their cleansing will take effect. But in some cases, you don't even need, there are cases that don't need someone to be cleansed. Such cases attract outright, where one has to be chased out. Person has to be ostracized. He or she will no longer be allowed to remain in the community. He or she will be chased away. So wherever he or she has decided to pitch his tent becomes his or her place until he or she joins his or her ancestors, okay, when death comes calling. So that's the way it is. So now, one of the things that are required, or one of the items required for cleansing, are usually kola nuts, native kola nuts, not just any other kola nuts, Igbo native kola nuts. Then alligator peppers. What is it called again? The cocks. Okay. If the oracle or the deity is female, she will demand female chicken. That is the hen. If the oracle or deity is male, he will demand cock. That is a male chicken. So all these things and so many of them will be provided. If someone takes the life of another, the person does not need to be cleansed or purified. The person, such crime attracts outright ostracization. The person has to be chased away from the community for life. Okay, he or she will no longer step his or her foot on the lands of the community. Okay, so, and there are a few of them that also require one to be chased away, where one has to be banned from entering to the land for life. So I mentioned so many of them on the day I talked about taboos. Okay, so now when cleansing has taken effect or is taking effect, eggs, native eggs will also be provided. Then the herbalist, the herbalist or the native doctor who is specialized in the cleansing, because not all native doctors, are specialized in cleansing the culprit of the taboos they committed. So now we'll do the incantations. Whoever is in charge will do the incantations. Then the eggs will be broken. So many other things will be said alongside the incantations. And something like the person has been cleansed on a K day, the person has been cleansed on Orie day, the person has been cleansed on Afo day, the person has been cleansed on Nkwo day. All the 4 market days in Igbo land will be evoked. So to listen and take whatever they have requested or whatever they ask in case of where someone has committed one taboo or the other. So that's why the list of what the person stands to provide are really, really numerous. The list is very, the lists are very full. So, you see, you have to provide this. Every god that really manages, is the god of the rain, god of the farm, god of this and that. So each of the items, each god will know what item he or she, takes to be appeased. So on that day, after all those items have been provided, each god will be given his or her own portion. So now the god or the gods that control the 4 market days will also be offered the items, deserving to them. So it's not just something that starts and ends immediately. It takes a long time. Some cleansing may not finish in one day. They might want to do that. Probably the gods are too angry that they wouldn't want to forgive the person in one day. They might, whatever they have communicated to the man in charge, the native doctor that will do the cleansing, he or she will be able to tell the people to understand. Remember, every oracle has a custodian. So the native doctor and the custodian will parley together. Sometimes the native doctor is the custodian of those deities or oracles. So they are aware of what it takes for one to be cleansed or purified. Okay, so that's the way it's done. But one thing I would advise here is that it's better not to commit any of the taboos or abominations that offend the gods of the land. No matter how angry you are, one needs to control his or her temperament. One needs to control or put in check his or her libido. You understand? So you have to control, put your groins in check. You understand? Have absolute control. Comport yourself in decorum so that you don't end up committing any of the abominations listed. So once someone's way is clean, the person progresses. That's one huge belief of the Igbo in entirety. So they believe that if you do not commit anything that goes contrary to the laws of the land, your ways are usually open. In some cases, when one's way, even when one is not aware, if he or she has committed something and his or her ways have remained obscure, the person will still have to go to talk to the gods. They will be the one to tell him or her if there is anything he did in the past which he did not know it's against the laws of the land. Then the person will now be cleansed. After he or she has been cleansed, his ways will start working. So where the gods, the oracles, and the deities are very strong, once somebody's ways have been open, things will start working normal for the person. Understand? But you know, they are jealous just as the Almighty God. You don't have to worship God and worship them as well. It's either you worship the Almighty God or you worship them. So they will do for you what they feel like doing for you, what they feel that is right. Because you are serving them, you are not serving any other person. So stay away from the abominations of the land. You know, stay away from the taboos of the land. Live your life clean. Okay, be upright. That's what is required of any person, you know, in the Igbo setting. All right, guys, that's all for today. I hope you learned a lot. If you have any questions, please feel free to go to my comment section and drop it. From me to you, bye-bye. Have a lovely night. Love you.